up on Ag Week TV, we'll look at the state of the dairy industry from this year's World Dairy Expo. Farmers in the Western Corn Belt are looking at more grain storage and drying again this fall.
We'll tell you how some of the region's extra produce is going to feed the hungry.
And we look at more of the similarities of the 1980s farm crisis to today. Welcome to Ag Week TV. I'm Michelle Rook. I'm here at the World Dairy Expo in Madison, Wisconsin, the largest dairy-specific show in the world. The show attracts 65,000 attendees, many of whom are international guests. This year's trade show was once again sold out with 850-plus exhibitors. The world-class dairy cattle breed shows were strong with over 2,400 head. Plus, this is an event where dairy producers come to network and learn to improve their operation. Joining us here from Expo is National Milk Producer Federation's Chris GleaND. Chris, let's talk first of all about milk price. At least we are starting to see some improvement.
Yeah, certainly 2019 will be the best year since 2014 in terms of milk prices. And to top it off, we have over $300 million in dairy margin coverage payments that the USDA is making to farmers this year. So this has been a very generous program, which is what we wanted when we worked with Congress back in 2018 to create this program in the 2018 Farm Bill.
Let's also talk about the fact that it was a year ago you and I were here talking about the USMCA because the three countries had come together with an agreement, but it's still not ratified.
No, and there's still negotiations going on right now on Capitol Hill between Democrats in the House and the Trump administration. We do think that the signs are encouraging from the Democratic leadership that despite all the talk about impeachment and all the energy that that's going to draw here this fall, that they still want to do business as usual in other areas, and certainly the USMCA vote is got to be a front burner issue.
How important will the recently signed US-Japan agreement be to dairy?
Well, right now we're encouraged by what we see, although not all the details are out, but what we've told the administration is that we need to see that U.S. farmers have the same market access to Japan as our competitors do. Otherwise, if we're in a competitive position where we're going to be on our back heels, that's not going to work for us.
Another area you continue to work on is some of the labeling issues that we've had with some of the, imitation products. Talk about that.
Sure. Well, we are continuing to bang away at FDA to enforce existing standards defining milk and other dairy products as the product of an animal. The plant-based foods are going to be out there, but the important thing is they have to be labeled properly. And at least in the situation with dairy, the plant-based foods are not, in many cases, labeled properly. So what we are doing is calling out products that are misbranded, that are not in compliance with FDA standards, and then calling on the FDA to do something about it. And that's why we need to see the FDA do what it should be doing and restrict the use of these dairy terms to real dairy products.
Well, it's always good to see you. Lots on the plate for dairy farmers. National Milk Producer Federation's Chris GleaND. The 2019 growing season has been full of weather extremes, and this fall will be no exception. With the late crop, farmers are expecting a long harvest and wet grains. The sugar beet harvest was supposed to start this week, but some farmers may be waiting a while to get into their fields. The beet fields at the Krogstead farm near Reynolds, North Dakota are underwater, and it could be days before any equipment can get in to harvest.
We've had 7.5 inches in the last couple of weeks. This is going to slow everything down, and when we do get back in the field, the mud we're going to deal with just to get the crop out is going to be a challenge.
Farmers warn that mud on the roads may be a bigger problem than usual once beet harvest gets started. The wet harvest weather combined with immature crops will just add to the cost of grain drying this fall. Plus, many farmers haven't marketed their crop and are waiting for better prices, so on-farm storage will be at a premium. With this spring's late planting, the crops have been behind in development all season, which means more grain drying at harvest.
It's going to be substantially more just because of the fact that we're a week or 10 days behind.
The corn is also at various crop stages and uneven, which can mean higher grain moisture.
But I think a lot of them are going to be up around 27, 28. A lot of this corn is going to come out wetter because they're going to have a shorter time window to get it done.
I can see lines of the elevators being really long this year just for the lack of drying capabilities.
That's why many farmers installed dryers on the farm, and the cost is less than commercial at 3/4 of a cent per point of moisture.
So if you take 5 points, you could probably be looking at 4.75 cents or 4.5 cents a bushel.
To save money, farmers are also considering air drying more grain.
A lot of people rely on just air drying, not using any supplemental heat to dry their crop. Your only expenses are the electricity to run your fan.
Matt Podani with Chief Industries says they're also putting up grain bins yet this fall as farmers are planning to store both corn and beans.
Especially right now with depressed crop prices, there is an advantage to be able to store grain on the farms.
The way the commodity markets have dictated things, guys are wanting to store more on farm and try to catch rallies instead of paying for commercial storage.
In fact, on-farm storage is much less expensive and farmers can still retain the quality.
It's more economical to dry it on the farm and store it, to keep it at a better price some other day.
Plus, if farmers catch a rally in the market, the return on investment is positive. Farming has seen a lot of changes over the years, and even bigger changes are on the horizon due to technology. The chairman of the Federal Communications Commission paid a visit to the GleaND farm south of Fargo. It's an autonomous farming research hub, and Ajit Pai weighed in on the importance of integrating agriculture and technology. He says the FCC is setting up a precision ag task force, which will focus on using technology to solve problems like worker shortages. Pai also says his agency is focusing on increasing connectivity in rural areas.
There are a lot of consumers who want to have that higher bandwidth in order to do things like precision agriculture and telemedicine, online education, and setting up e-commerce sites that will help them to grow their businesses.
Pai says the FCC has a $10 billion universal service fund to provide capital investments for unserved parts of the country. I'll be back later in this show with more from World Dairy Expo.
Still ahead on Ag Week TV, we'll tell you why there's a cornfield right in the middle of Fargo and who it benefits.
One of the things that Mosaic does really well is focuses on balanced crop nutrition in the premium products that we design. And one of those products is Micro Essentials. But it provides in every single granule the nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, in some cases zinc. We added sulfur and zinc with Micro Essentials because sulfur is one of the most deficient nutrients and zinc is the most deficient micronutrient. So our goal is balanced crop nutrition and being able to provide those products to the farmers in the world today.
Ready for more? The new Fendt 900 Vario is impressive on every level. With groundbreaking features, you'll be ready for everyday challenges now and in the future. New smart connectivity solutions make the Fendt 900 series from Butler Machinery an intelligent choice for your farm. We're also proud to carry the Fendt Ideal, a new combine for a new era of farming. Designed to be automated in operation, the Ideal combine is already setting industry standards for efficiency and output. Visit butlermachinery.com to schedule a demo at your operation.
Nothing holds more promise than a seed. And when it comes from Peterson Farm Seed, it's backed with a promise from us. We will sell no seed we wouldn't be happy to plant on our own farm, so that growers like Pete can keep a promise of his own, to build a profitable business with his kids and give them the opportunity to one day do the same with theirs. Grow your promise. Grow Peterson Farm Seed.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
Upgrade your trailer to electric with the Rolltech electric system from AgriCover. Strong, flexible pivot arms and motor mount rotate and telescope, allowing the roll tube to rise and flex over heaped loads. The positive automatic lock is impossible to back off to control the flow of grain. This integrated system uses one wireless remote to operate up to 10 tarps and hoppers, keeping your driver out of the dust, rain, and harm's way. See the Rolltech system in action at an AgriCover dealer near you.
An ambitious farmer from Mott, North Dakota was a high-profile victim of the 1980s farm credit crisis. But Milton Hertz would go on to play a key government role in getting money back in the hands of farmers. Mikkel Pates talked to his son about Milton's legacy in the final part of his series comparing the 1980s farm crisis to today.
He was very innovative, and he was constantly looking for something out of the norm to try and better our operation.
Milt Hertz grew his family farm in the 60s and 70s. He was one of the first to bring anhydrous ammonia and sunflowers to western North Dakota. He was named one of the nation's outstanding young farmers in 1969. But by 1982, he was selling out. His son Shane farms the land now. He blames a combination of factors, including the Russian grain embargo and low prices.
Late 70s, he was farming 26,000 acres. As 1980 and 81 rolled around, we were fighting drought and fighting 20% interest.
But Milt wasn't done with ag. He went to work for the Agricultural Stabilization and Conservation Service in Washington, eventually becoming administrator. There, he was able to work on programs to help farmers through the farm crisis, like the PIC program.
He was down there trying to save all the farmers in North Dakota and do the best he could with it.
Things started to turn around for farmers, including the Hertzes in the early 1990s. And now Shane says adopting new technology like precision farming is helping them remain profitable. He hopes to pass the farm on to his son, the fifth generation.
It's a little concerning planning your life based on a career that at this time is kind of in a downturn right now, but at the same time, this is what I know, this is what I love.
But Shane Hertz says if trade issues aren't settled or if interest rates start to rise, many farmers could be in trouble, like in the 80s. In Mott, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
You can read much more in the next Ag Week magazine or at agweek.com. There's a cornfield right in the heart of Fargo. Maybe you've noticed it, east of I-29, just north of Main Avenue. Employees of Case New Holland planted it to help feed the hungry. I found a group called GleaND is picking it for the Great Plains Food Bank.
Gleaning is the process of taking food that is unwanted or unused in some capacity and getting it to those who need it.
Gleaning is an ancient practice of picking food left in the field after harvest for the needy. But it's making a comeback, and now it can be extra food from a grocery store or a restaurant or a field. In this case, a cornfield.
First time we came out, we just kind of saw this big field, and I think we got a little bug-eyed and got so excited seeing all this amazing corn.
Andrew Flory is the food resource manager at the Great Plains Food Bank in Fargo. Employees of Case New Holland planted this 3-acre field especially to donate to the food bank.
So far, we have gotten about 7,000 pounds out of here, and we feel like we're just starting to make a dent.
This field is one of several around the region that volunteers are harvesting this fall. When they're done, they will have collected thousands of pounds of corn, melons, squash, tomatoes, and other crops to help feed the hungry. The GleaND program was started a couple of years ago by the Great Plains Food Bank, and they're already calling it a success.
We've already surpassed the amount of pounds that we got last year through the program, so we're off to a great start, and we still got, a good few weeks of gleans ahead of us.
The USDA estimates nearly 100 billion pounds of food goes to waste in the field every year in the U.S., and this program is doing its part to get some of that food onto the plates of hungry people. The gleaning is done by volunteers. GleaND is hoping to expand the program around the state. If you'd like more information or to volunteer, go to GleaND.org. Still ahead on Ag Week TV, we'll have more from Michelle at the World Dairy Expo. And later,
October is National Pork Month. We'll show you how to make your pork look like this.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
How can one tillage tool handle most field conditions, residue types, and tillage practices? It takes a Renegade, the Summers VRT Renegade. Switch from vertical to aggressive tillage and anywhere in between. Adjust blade angles, tillage depth, and more on the go, all from an iPad. Get the tillage results you want, like only the Summers VRT Renegade can. For more information or a demo, contact your Summers dealer.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow pump features neoprene-lined turbine bearings backed up with a sand collar to prevent debris and grit, all to assure your pump keeps working season after season. Find out more at dynaflowpump.com.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Welcome back to the World Dairy Expo in America's Dairyland. What makes this a world show is the global influence. Nearly 2,500 international guests attend the expo from 100 different countries.
It's a mecca for them to come for whatever country they're coming from to the upper Midwest, to get on dairy farms, to visit with commercial dealers and implement manufacturers, as well as take in the World Dairy Expo experience.
150 companies, or 17% of the trade show exhibitors, have their headquarters outside the U.S. Finland-based consulting company 4D Barnes says the U.S. is a growth area for them.
We are looking to expand our businesses, and we already have a business outside Finland, and this is a very good area to do networking and to find new contacts.
The Dairy Expo is also on the cutting edge of technology, from genetics to equipment. This week's Crop Stop takes us to Buffalo, North Dakota in western Cass County, where Zane Erickson is keeping a close eye on his crops. His area's average first frost is September 17th, so Erickson knows he's on borrowed time. That's on top of a summer of heavy rain that's delaying harvest. About 20% of his pinto beans are harvested. They've struggled with some fields at 15 to 20% drownout. His corn is behind in maturity, but the hot mid-September weather helped, and the soybeans he seeded in the middle of May are about ready to harvest.
It's going to be the same old story. They're going to be really good in the good areas of the field and really poor in the wetter areas of the field due to excess moisture.
Erickson has also bought 25% more propane than he normally uses for crop drying because he expects the crop will be high moisture. So will we get a break in the weather soon to allow farmers to get back in the fields to harvest? Here's our agri-weather outlook.
September, now bleeding into the first few days of October, has been a very atypical month. We're finally, though, beginning to see some of the heat in the United States relax, cool down. The big stormy weather pattern through the nation's midsection beginning to show some signs of settling. And instead of this being replaced by really cold weather, it's more of a typical fall pattern. Upper Midwest, Northern Plains, we'll get our typical scattered light frost that we get in early to mid-October, but I don't see any really dramatic weather shaping up. Jet stream has been of high amplitude of late. It's going to relax a little bit. We still have a lot of warm weather in the eastern U.S., that's gradually going to get pushed southward. Corn Belt will have a few warm days through the middle of the week, but gradually we'll see milder air taking over with a lot of fairly typical fall-type weather setting up this week. Looks like cool weather will be getting reinforced over western sections of Canada, but not a lot of penetration into the U.S., except for the northern Rockies and the Pacific Northwest, and some of that in the Pacific Northwest will be more because of rain than any type of unseasonably cool weather. Moving on through next week in mid-October, the jet stream will continue to be relatively flat west to east. There'll be the usual ambulations. Looks like some ridging toward the end of next week. Now that's mid-October setting up, but that will come with a jet coming out of the northwest through the nation's midsection, which will likely bring at least some cool weather into the Great Lakes. Not really unusually cool though. So for this week, generally speaking, dry weather for a change in the northern plains down through the western Corn Belt. Showers will be along the east coast. Significant rain mostly Pacific Northwest where it turns to snow in the mountains. The second week of the forecast still looks wet out west, still mostly dry in the middle. Showers in the northern plains would be light. The east coast will get its occasional scattered rain showers.
Mother Nature doesn't always cooperate. So when conditions are right, be ready with genuine Case IH parts from Titan Machinery. Only genuine Case IH parts are engineered to keep your equipment running at peak efficiency when you're running around the clock. Don't risk your bottom line with off-brand parts that don't meet the same standards. Visit your local Titan Machinery dealership today to find out why genuine Case IH parts offer the best value and performance for your operation.
Dig, lay, and bury drain tile all in one pass with the Crary Tile Pro Plow. The Crary Tile Pro Plow lays tile up to 7 feet deep with boot sizes of 4 to 12 inches. Advantages of installing drain tile to your field provides increased overall yield, improved soil moisture levels, and controls soil erosion. It pays to tile with a Crary Tile Pro. To locate a dealer near you, visit www.crarytilepro.com.
With the success of the Case IH Steiger Quad Track and Magnum Road Track tractors, it's no secret why Case IH is the leader of the track. So it wasn't surprising when the competition started imitating us. But only Case IH offers a 5-axle design to give you a smoother ride, more power to the ground, with less berming and compaction. Still, we're flattered. In fact, if we weren't already red, we'd be blushing.
Steffes Group, selling land and the equipment to farm it since 1960. If you're interested in selling or have questions about our auction process, head to our website at steffesgroup.com to contact us at any one of our 4 locations located throughout the Midwest. You can also visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our auction previews and recaps to stay up to date on the market in your area.
It's the perfect time to get ready for harvest, and North Star Ag has the equipment you need to keep things running smoothly this season. We have a great selection of augers from Meridian and Wheatheart, as well as Batco and Unitube conveyors. Uptime is crucial. Keep your crew in the field longer with a fuel trailer from Thunder Creek. And don't forget, North Star Ag has Meridian hopper bins for any size operation. See our complete new and used equipment inventory at northstarag.com or give us a call.
October is pork month, a good time to show that it's an easy, versatile, and delicious main dish. Jenny Schleck talks with an expert who has some tips and tricks for cooking perfect pork.
I'm here with local food writer and recipe developer Sarah Nasello. Sarah's going to talk to us a little about the versatility of pork.
Pork is one of my favorite proteins to use. There are so many good virtues about pork, and one of my favorite is that it's extremely versatile. There are tons of different ways to enjoy pork. There are lots of different flavors to pork. You've got pork chops, boneless pork top loin chop. Pork is really, really easy to cook, and I'll show you a few different ways to do that today. I've got beautiful pork chops here today that I'd like to show you how to prepare it. We used to be told to cook it at 160 degrees as a minimum, and that's really considered well done now. There's a whole spectrum on how you can cook pork. 145 is the USDA guidelines for cooking pork, and that's about where I like to keep mine. It gives you a little bit of pink in the middle, but keeps it really nice and juicy. This is the piece that we cooked to 160 degrees. Look at that. There's really no pink inside. It still looks pretty good, though. It's hard to ruin a good piece of pork unless you really, really cook it. But here's the one that we cooked to 145. We cut right into it. You're going to see it's got a little more pink inside. See the juice has just come spilling out.
And you have one more thing to show us.
Yes, I'd like to talk about boneless top pork loin chop. We've trimmed the fat from the sides so that you don't have anything tough while you're eating. And then you're just going to take a sharp knife, place your hands on top, and just cut right through the middle. And then you take your meat mallet, pound it until it's about 1/8 to 1/4 inch thick. So then, Jenny, the next step you do is you take your cutlet, You're just going to lightly coat it with some flour. The next step, the egg wash. And then over here I've got a mixture of panko breadcrumbs, and to that I've added some chopped fresh rosemary, freshly grated Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper, and that's it. Just going to put that in the pan. Let it cook for about 2 to 3 minutes each side. You know, Jenny, as I look around at all the beautiful pork that we prepared here together today, I think about the farmers in our state who raise the pork that comes to our table, and I'm so grateful and appreciative for all their hard efforts to put beautiful food on our families' tables.
Sarah Nasello, thank you for teaching us how easy and versatile pork really can be.
My pleasure.
When Ag Week TV returns, a farm organization gets into the business of books.
Ready for more? The new Fendt 900 Vario is impressive on every level. With groundbreaking features, you'll be ready for everyday challenges now and in the future. New smart connectivity solutions make the Fendt 900 series from Butler Machinery an intelligent choice for your farm. We're also proud to carry the Fendt Ideal, a new combine for a new era of farming. Designed to be automated in operation, the Ideal combine is already setting industry standards for efficiency and output. Visit butlermachinery.com to schedule a demo at your operation.
Ag Week is excited to bring you the Ag Week app with useful features and the latest news and information right at your fingertips. Get your Ag Week news, weather, and the latest episodes of Ag Week TV. Plus, see real-time information on the futures market and view local cash bids for your crops. Stay updated and take Ag Week with you wherever you are. Download the Ag Week app today.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Ag Week magazine. Reaching over 70,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Ag Week provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. Ag Week. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
The North Dakota Farmers Union is teaching kids about farming through a book. It's called Our Family Farm. Everyone works on a family farm. NDFU President Mark Watney says the book has been popular with kids and parents. He says it's important to teach kids what farms do and how successful they are at production.
We have to tell our story, whether it's just agriculture in general or if it's family farm in general. People are starting to lose that connection.
NDFU has sold about 4,000 of the books. They're $16.95 each and available at ndfu.org. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or download the Ag Week app. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll see you next week.